this week on Riverside Mike's Pigskin Corner. Let's get back to Bruce and the gang on the morning show.
Thank you very much, Mike. And Rhonda Shear is with us this morning.
Look at me. I'm holding my shoulders up now.
Good morning. Yeah, you are. You just perked right up.
That's not easy. This is early. You boys are good.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Oh, well, a little on me.
Bruce and the gang. I like the gang.
No comment.
Geriatrics. So how are you?
I'm really good. Having a ball here in Lafayette.
You know, I'm just amazed. You're beautiful. I told you when you came in this morning, I said, I really expected you to be much older.
I love him. And I said, I am old.
No, you're not. You're not. You're a very young lady.
I said, I've been on the air forever. I started doing television at a really early age.
I was going to say, the Up All Night thing was when you started, what, 12 or 13?
Actually, oh, how sweet. No, it was 1991 to 1998. People always think I did it, like, I think in the 70s and the 80s. But, you know, I got a lot of young guys through puberty, though, so maybe perhaps that's what it is. I don't know. It's really cool. People go, I grew up with you. But
and
it's
now
true.
You get the morning show through it.
That's right. That's right.
So, how did this Up All Night thing
start?
I
was doing stand-up comedy. Actually, one of the first places I ever worked was Laughlin's at Samstown, which I know is something else now.
Well, yeah, right, River Palms.
And with Sandy Hackett. And so then I was doing stand-up comedy, and I get this call from USA Network. They were looking for a host that was a little more out there. And they had another gal that was on the show, and so they auditioned about 200, 300 women, and I just decided to just go for it. And just big hair, a lot of craziness, and up all night, and it worked. I mean, they had these horrible films that were on, and my whole thing was just to keep the viewers watching these horrible films, and just do this fun, blonde, over-the-top character.
You could have been the one that made the ditzy blonde the stereotype.
You know, I've actually had offers for people. Someone wants to write a book about that I kind of trailblazed. I don't know whatever this means, but for the shows that are on the air now, like E! Entertainment and all what's going on, which is really out there, and a lot of sexiness. Everyone's hosting now in bikinis. Where we were just, you know, the borderline cute, more campy, tongue-in-cheek, making fun of myself, where now it's just so sexual out there.
That's very blatant.
It's very blatant. I kind of liked what we did, but at the time we were thought of as being, ooh, you know, but it was just more about, I like changing clothes the whole time and wearing outrageous outfits and having great guests. I mean, I had everyone from Barbara Walters on.
Really?
No, I
wasn't allowed to stay up that late. I was very young when that was on.
Oh, no, it's great. It's great. I mean, I did Larry King live from the show. I mean, it was just amazing. During that period, I had just a great time, and you know, the only thing it did was kind of came back to haunt me in my acting profession. I couldn't do some of the serious things I had hoped that I'd started off doing when I first moved to LA.
Your favorite guest?
Oh my gosh, probably Barbara Eden, because she's my idol.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and she's just delightful. I mean, I've had huge stars, but Barbara is just a delightful woman and just really classy, and went along with it and let me do impressions of her from Jeannie. So.
You do Jeannie impressions?
I'll bet you can.
Oh.
No, I have to put the wig on. I've done Cher and all this, but it was fun. It was just it gave me a lot of freedom to do a lot of stuff, because USA Network was still kind of new in those early days, and basic cable was great back then, and so we got away with a lot without telling the network. I mean, we taped the show for 5 years in LA, and then they moved the show for the last 3 years to New York, and it got a little bit edgier. That I liked it more when it was in LA. It was more fun. And
Your most difficult interview?
This one.
This one. That's good. Oh, probably Demi Moore.
Really?
I know that sounds weird. It was just that. Well, no, there was a reason why. No, she was sweet. She had just shaved her head for that film. I don't know if you remember.
Oh yeah. The G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane, and I think, and I was trying to find out stuff from her, and she just wouldn't go there. It was just about the movie, and that was it. She wouldn't let me get into. Not that I mean, I'm not the kind of interviewer that's like, let me get into your life.
Right.
But that I think. I mean, she was nice. It's just that I couldn't
get her going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to really be open when you're bald. And you're a woman. Maybe it's different for a guy, but it was kind of strange for me.
Just ask Sinead. I mean, she's been very open.
Well, that's different. Yeah, very open.
Ask Sam.
Yeah, ask Sam. So, Sam, by the way, have you met Rhonda yet? You didn't have an opportunity. Rhonda, this is Sam Madrano.
Oh, hi, Sam. Hello. Look at him. He's perfect for the show, because we bring guys up on the stage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sam.
Yes, we bring a bunch of guys up, and it's 4 women, and they're all in their pajamas, and we invite the audience to wear their pajamas too, because it's kind of that same feeling as Up All Night, except live, and we get the audience very much involved. So, but and also we give prizes to the best pajamas. So you need to.
Oh, really?
Yes, we give rib dinners. And steak dinners, and also teddy bears. It's a fun show, and I really found 3 of the most amazing female comics to work with me.
Yeah.
And they're all headliners: Carol Montgomery, Ludovica, and Vicky Barbalack, who's my Liz Taylor in a trailer. Just a great group of women. They're spicy. There's, it's just a great way to showcase female comics, which there just doesn't seem to be as many up-and-coming ones now.
Right.
And these women are the best that are working out there. So if you want to laugh, it's great, and it's very female-friendly. Women love the show. They always want to come back and bring a group of women. Men like it because there's a lot of eye candy. Ludovica, what she wears or doesn't wear on stage. It's not, but you just don't see comics wearing the kind of outfits Ludo does.
Right.
Because she's a dancer, a former Vegas dancer. So she
Oh, my.
dresses and brings guys up on stage and brings girls up on stage and shows them how to dance. And she's funny, too. So it's a lot of variety and a lot of comedy. So
Sounds neat.
Yeah, it's a neat show.
You mentioned that you started doing comedy. You were here in Laughlin. That certainly wasn't your first gig, but is that where your show business kind of kicked in?
The first thing I ever did was a Bob Hope special when I hit L.A.
You're
And,
kidding.
Yeah, it was the very first thing I did, and then I
comedy?
did Happy Days. No, I was right out of college, and from New Orleans, and just auditioned a cattle call, a bunch of women, and I was selected to do some sketches with him on the show. So it was great. I ended up working with great people in my early days. Johnny Carson, I did some Mighty Carson art player sketches. I've worked with George Burns. I told you I am old.
Gee whiz.
But it was really an honor for me. But I loved comedy. But I was this former Miss Louisiana, and I came out, with the whole beauty queen thing. And so I took some improv classes, fell in love with comedy, and sort of kept veering in that direction. Worked with a partner for a while, and we did mime and just crazy stuff, just anything to get in front of an audience. And then eventually that led to solo stand-up, which I started in. I started doing stand-up myself in 1987. And I've been doing it since then. But people still don't know that. There's still an audience that goes, I just know you from Up All Night.
Well,
That's
and
fine.
that,
That's
I
fine.
apologize. That
Oh, no,
me too.
And that's fine.
But that was you were quite impressive.
Yes, it was definitely. Everyone was missing the laughs, but they were noticing the cleavage, which was fine.
Yeah.
So so I've continued to headline and do stand up all through the years, and this to me is the best way to showcase what I do. And then I put the heat on the other gals. I host a show, have a great time, sit back. I'm on stage the whole time and let them get the laughs.
How great.
So if you go tonight, Sam Madrano will be in pajamas on stage with you?
Yes, I hope so. We have a very special routine for him, I must tell you.
Now that'll draw a crowd.
And if he's really nice, we'll give him a big bear.
Oh, my gosh.
We're there every night, tonight through Sunday, 8 o'clock show, and we really do ask everybody to wear their jammies. And we've had quite a few people show up. There's something exhilarating about gambling and hanging out in the show and
And your jammies?
and your jammies. We've had some interesting outfits, I have to
People
tell you,
make
here in
fun of my
Laughlin.
little slippers with the ears on them.
No,
my God.
But you could have your cat, your
My kitty?
Yeah,
Your
kitty with a mouse.
Yeah.
just wear that though.
No, you don't
That'll
want to
clear
see
the
it.
house.
Don't want to see it. So now you were telling me out in the lobby a kind of a very interesting story, not kind of, about you were just recently married.
Yes, for the first time because I was so career driven. Wouldn't I was a career dater too, and that was great. I didn't really plan on getting married, and
Yeah.
then a year and 9 months ago, reunited with my high school sweetheart on Classmates.com.
Isn't that amazing?
And actually, it was not even my high school. We met when we were 12. He was 13, and in junior high, and we dated all through junior high or whatever you do at that age, into high school.
You frustrate yourself a lot,
you
if I
frustrate
remember
yourself.
correctly.
I think he was frustrated, and then he came back. We broke up at 16. He came back to see if I had any interest when I was 22, and I was on my way to L.A. I had stars in my eyes, wouldn't even come out to see him, and then he got married, stayed in Lafayette, Louisiana, and I moved out to L.A., and we had not seen each other since then. So,
For crying out loud.
So it was pretty wild, and then when we kind of chatted on the internet for about a month, saw each other at Christmas time in 2000, and got married, eloped 15 days later. It's a great story.
Looking
It's
back
just a
on
wild
it,
story.
do you believe you did that?
I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
I really can't. It's just because it was just so, I mean, I'm impulsive, but marriage is something you...
Well, you aren't that impulsive. You waited a long time to get married.
I waited a long time and had a long time relationship right prior to this, long time, like a 10-year relationship. So, yeah, it was wild.
How neat.
It was pretty amazing just to, it was that connection. And now we still have the same fights that we had when we were 12, which is so scary. But he's from down south, but, he's a great guy and moved, Van Fagan, and moved to Los Angeles recently with me. So I had this whole thing planned out. I actually moved to Lafayette, Louisiana from Beverly Hills. That was totally Beverly Hillbillies in reverse. It was like amazing. And then we moved to Dallas because he's in the computer software business. And then I kept getting him back further out west, then to San Diego. And I was like, now we're almost there. Come on, one more push. So we've moved 4 times in a year and 9 months.
How's he like the West Coast?
He loves it.
Really?
He loves it. He has a real Southern accent.
I noticed.
Y'all hear that? Y'all this.
What happened to yours? You're cool.
I have a real.
I won't say that.
I know. Yeah. I know what it is. But, and he really is that. He's a Cajun boy.
Yeah.
Great cook. I have more of a New Orleans accent, which is more like a melting pot, almost like a New York kind of accent.
Yeah, it sounds more
it's really what they call a Yat accent in New Orleans, and I know I can lose it if I'm really awake. But he has his father's from Texas, and he has a little bit more of a composite Southern accent.
Do you miss New Orleans?
I do. We go back there a lot, though, because all my family's still there, and it's a great town. We both decided that we couldn't live there, but I mean, it's just there's no American city like New Orleans. It's just a great feeling and great food and great fun, but.
Scary during hurricane season, though. I mean, that town
I was
just
there. I
sits...
was recently there for both of these
Were
hurricanes.
you really?
Yeah, yes, or one of the two that kind of came through.
I can't believe they keep that town from flooding.
My mom lives on the lakefront, which is like it's like this bowl. You've got the lake, and then you've got the river, and it's below sea level. So if a hurricane, I would say, hits from a certain angle, and if it's the right or wrong angle, the city will be flooded totally. So, and she's got this huge levee in front of her home, and I walked up to the levee, and it was just about 6-7 feet up on the levee. It was way over the lake. So it is scary. And so we stayed there. That first one is Isidore. My mom was ill, and I went back, and she's doing better now. But it was whipping through. I mean, the wind was just whipping through and howling. And I hadn't done this since I was a kid. I'm like, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
And so I was waiting for the lights to go out. We didn't lose electricity, though.
So now you have to worry about earthquakes.
Yes, I know.
And
None
fire.
of which is the worst.
You
can get away from a hurricane. You can get out.
Yeah.
The earthquakes we haven't felt one yet, but
Be my luck to be down there.
I have. My husband hasn't felt one yet, so.
Really?
Well, I've given him a few, but that's a whole different thing. He knows he'll survive those, But we love it, though.
You were telling me that you're kind of looking for a home for this show. You've played Reno, you've played Vegas, now you're down in Laughlin.
Yes.
It sounds like the show's a great success, and you would like to be pretty much centrally located.
We'd love to work in Vegas, like a weekend job, because all these women are actresses, and it'd be great for them to be able to work and do what they want to do during the week, and then pop up to Vegas on the weekend for Friday, Saturday, perhaps Sunday gig.
I gotta ask you, what was your major in college? Acting?
No,
Broadcast?
communications.
Was it all?
Broadcasting. I mean, I really wanted to be the news girl, and then somewhere in the middle, I decided I wanted to be more of the host and entertainment reporter.
Oh, I could just see you doing the news or the weather.
The weather.
Yeah.
I've done stints doing that. I mean, in mock doing that. I mean, I ended up kind of staying in that way because I've done a lot of hosting, hosted a ton of shows, in both serious and comedically. Done a lot of radio, but. Yeah, I mean, theater, I did quite a bit of theater. I was actually more afraid to audition for stuff in college.
Really?
I just had to, I mean, for plays, I just didn't have the confidence level that eventually when I hit L.A., that changed. But, no, I loved this side. And when I majored in it, it wasn't as, now everybody majors in it. It wasn't as cool. So I stayed in New Orleans, went to Loyola University, which is a great...
I was there. We were down there. There's a place just not far from there. It's a brick building, and they bring you out these bowls of shrimp, shrimp.
Yeah.
A couple years ago we were down
And
there.
that's how you do the news. You're eating the shrimp. And
Oh, really? Well, the news girls in Canada do it nude.
Oh, I know. Now, you see?
I didn't see. I haven't gotten it on, but I've heard
This
it.
is the internet.
Yeah, the internet
right.
news.
And from what I understand, they start off dressed, and as the broadcast goes on, they
Yeah.
dress more and more. And they thought Up All Night was risky.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you'd fit right in with our news team, though.
Yeah, you would.
I'm
You
ready.
absolutely would.
I'm ready. A lot of big hair and a couple of false eyelashes. I'm ready to go. No, I love this side, and this side always ends up pulling me back. And every time I think I'm actually starring in a film that I'm working on next week, and we're filming in Dallas, called Prison A Go-Go.
Oh, good
I keep
grief.
going back, but it's actually a really cute film that a young filmmaker is doing, and it's a spoof on every film that's ever been done, all the kind of B films that I ever starred in, or hosted, I should say. And it's great, and I have this great little prison role as the senior prisoner.
Anytime you talk about good-looking blonde women in prison, our minds just, man's mind goes
I know.
all over the place.
It's crazy, but anyway, so at least it's fun and it's comedy. But this always ends up. I always end up getting back to the roots, of how I started.
Well, make me a promise. Next time you
Yes.
come to town, you'll come back and see us.
Oh well, only if I can do the weather.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I want to
I've
wear
got
a
the greens.
chroma key. See, I want to wear a chroma key green outfit and have the weather happen on me,
All right.
like the clouds are moving across.
Right over here, we've
There's
got a
cold front.
big
Right.
thunderstorm.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll turn on the lights if you want to get on the green screen.
but she's not chroma keyed right now,
Right.
Gary. It
Now
won't work.
That'll make the ratings
Yeah.
something.
No, you
No
really
weather
helped
girl
me out.
has ever done that.
I think you're probably right, and this would be probably the
Right.
place to try it. I mean, they let me on the air. They'll let us do anything, I
Possibilities
guess.
are endless.
Yeah. So you're at the Riverside through Sunday, 8 o'clock, one show a night.
They're lovely there. We've had a great time. The people are so sweet. The publicist, Michelle, she's great. Getting a plug in for Michelle.
Absolutely.
She's a wonderful
Well, you're
lady.
planning on a ride back. That's why.
Yeah, that's right. I need to get back. And no, we've just had a great time. We give away lots of gifts. We have a lot of fun.
Okay.
And it's really a fun show to come out.
Wear
and
your
see.
Come back and see
jammies.
us.
Wear your jammies.
Thank you
so
very, very much. My pleasure entirely.
Thank you. That's sweet.
Have a great weekend. We will see you again on Monday. Until then, bye-bye.